everybody, Don Lappin here. This is a video that will show you how to play over another one of my tunes, Captain's Lady. I'm going to do it in a similar fashion that I did the previous video of Lappin' It Up, and show you some simple ways to negotiate some changes that are in the solo section, and give you a backing track to play over as well. So let's get started. Let me quickly go over the chords that are being used in this progression. We are using A flat major 7 sharp 11, and you can check out the screen. The chord diagram should be popping up, and then that's going to go to A minor 11 just by sliding my second finger up a fret. A nice modulation and transition. We go back to A flat major 7 sharp 11. And then we go to G7 sus4 to G7. Okay. So that's basically it. So it's kind of it's a groove kind of like this, and there should be an annotation that you can click on to bring you right to the solo section of Captain's Lady, which I have in another video. But it's kind of like this. That's what we're going to play over. Now for this particular video, what I did is I took the backing track, which is the actual tune itself minus all the solos, and I doubled the length of all of the chords just to give you more time to play over. Okay. Now let's go ahead and talk about the scales we're going to use. Okay, I apologize for this cable here. You won't see this in future videos, but you have to bear with me on this one. So modally what's going on here is we have three different modes. Over the A flat major 7 sharp 11, we're going to play A flat Lydian. When we modulate to A minor 11, we're going to play A Dorian. Over the G7 sus and G7, we're going to play G Mixolydian. Just like we did in the last video of Lappin' It Up, we're going to play all of these from the same starting point, and I chose the note of G this time. And the reason for that will become more clear as we run through the scales on top of the progression. Let's go ahead and do that now. Okay, this is A flat major 7 sharp 11. We're going to play G Phrygian, which is the same notes as A flat Lydian. Now when we go to A minor 11, we're going to play A Dorian, which is the same notes as G Ionian. All right, again, each scale is going to start on G. We go back to A flat major 7 sharp 11. We go back down to G Phrygian again. Same notes as A flat Lydian, right? Then, of course, when we go to G Mixolydian here, we're going to go and play G Mixolydian, which is the same scale, comes out of C Ionian. So and here's what it sounds like. G Ionian over for A Dorian. G Phrygian again. G Mixolydian. Okay, coming back for a second to why I chose the note of G as our starting point. G happens to sound very melodic over all three chords for that given mode. For example, over A flat major 7, right, the G is the 7. The 7 over major 7 sharp 11 is always sounds great. So right, that little phrase there built around the G, or that little Phrygian shape, sounds really, really nice. So moving on to the A minor 11, G is still a 7, this time a flat 7, still a very melodic note to land on, all right? And then finally moving to the G7 sus. Over mixolydian, now it becomes the root, and I like the sound of the root in this case on top of a mixolydian type of tonality. So we have a nice sounding note every single time. This is not to advocate always starting at the bottom of a shape or bottom of a scale. That's something that's very common that I see a lot of players doing. This is only a starting point to get you to be able to expand through changes, and you have to start someplace. So why not allow that lowest note of the shape to be a melodic note to start with. Moving on to the next part of this video, you'll notice in the diagrams on the screen that I've also written these scales a little differently, going across the guitar in octaves. So for example, I'm taking the 6-note shape, and these are what I call the 7 short patterns of the major scale. I don't want to get into what that is exactly. I am going to do a video very soon on that whole process, okay, which is really going to help you understand a lot about how the guitar is organized. But for now, we are going to, rather than playing vertically, we're going to play diagonally. So we're going to play the first 6 notes of the Phrygian shape. Then we're going to move that up an octave, and we're going to play it from G on the D string. Finally, 8th fret of the B string on G. Right? So we have 6 out of the 7 notes. Now to get the 7th note in, you'll notice I have the 7th of the scale marked in brown. So you can just do a finger slide. Right? Then slide into the octave again. And we can do that with the Ionian shape, which will give us the A Dorian. And finally, the Mixolydian shape. But now let me show you how we can go about expanding and making more use of the instrument with just these shapes. And the way we're going to do this is we're going to start in the middle octave, and I'm only going to improvise using 6 notes on each of the changes. In other words, I'm only going to use this Phrygian shape over the A flat major 7 sharp 11. I'm not going to go to any other notes, just those 6, and then I'm going to use the Ionian shape for the minor 11 for the Dorian, and then I'm going to use the same shape for the Mixolydian. All right, so let's do that first. So here we go. So we're starting with G Phrygian or A flat Lydian. Now G Ionian. G Ionian shape, but we're actually playing A Dorian, right? Those half note differences, man, make a big, big difference. This is the Mixolydian. Now back to the A flat Lydian or G Phrygian shape. Now I'm going to expand a little bit more, and I'm going to make use of all 3 octaves, but I'm not going to add that 7th note in just yet. But I am going to do a little more playing using my technique, and just listen to the sound of the notes. Here we go.